Hello and welcome to the 2017 Southern Collegiate Disc Golf Association Conference Championship. Today we have Arkansas State and Ole Miss facing off on the back half of a 27-hole doubles layout at Old Post Park in Russellville, Arkansas. I'm Charles McCracken, and today I'm joined by Baker Helton. Baker, how are you?
Good, Charlie. I think my fiance might be getting a little concerned about how much we talk, but that's okay.
Yeah, man, I think I probably talk to you about 4 or 5 times a day at this point, but hey, disc golf's the life, right?
That's right.
All right, so here we go. We got Arkansas State at 7 under par and Ole Miss at 5 under. We're starting on hole 15 for the second half of our coverage. Hole 15 is a 245-foot hyzer shot. You want to take something stable, something like a fairway driver, like a T-bird, I think is my preferred shot, and just kind of hang it out to the right, turn it over a little bit, and hope it flexes back. You don't want to go right on this hole because there's OB in the road, so the play is really just to land safe and then maybe hit a big putt.
Yeah, and you see there, Arkansas State didn't get very good shots off there. Sitton hit a tree, and then Underwood didn't get his line either. So a chance for Ole Miss to try to pick up one of those strokes back, and you can see that Parker Beal hit off the tree, and it's going to be up to Cole Neal to see if he can put Ole Miss in the circle here.
Yeah, Cole hasn't quite been playing to his fullest capacity, I think, during this round. And we still have about 13 holes left, so we still got time to heat up. But that's not going to do it either. He's not going to be happy with that. Both teams are going to be looking at probably a 3 on this hole unless they can make something big right here.
Yeah, that's a surprise, Charlie. 245 foot, a little easy hyzer shot. You'd think that you'd have some good putts here, but both these guys are looking at outside the circle looks, and Parker Sowers, he's close enough. That's going to let Parker Brewster have a chance to run this and make a long bid.
This is one of those holes where if you haven't played this course a lot, you might be scared to go for it and turn your disc over the required amount to fade back towards the basket. Ooh, Jared gave that one a great round, and he'll be safe enough to let his partner also give it a firm go. Yeah, but like I was saying, if you're not familiar with this course, you may leave this one short, which is what both of these teams did. In order to park this hole, you need to really turn it over and then trust that the fade of the disc is going to bring it back up into that hill and not go too long.
Yeah, and Dawson Burge just missed off to the left there, and they have that comeback putt here for Parker Sitton, and it's going to be a par for both Arkansas State and Ole Miss. So Arkansas State is going to go into hole 16 with the 2-stroke advantage still. And Charlie, there's still plenty of golf to play, but you have to think that Ole Miss is starting to wonder where they're going to get those strokes back.
Yeah, we're playing the full 18 layout, and then we're going back and playing probably the most interesting holes again through 9 more of them. And those holes can be a stroke separator, or, with the way these two teams are playing, they may just play it out and tie a bunch of these holes. So Ole Miss is going to have to make something big happen, whether that's, maybe a throw-in from a long distance. There's a big opportunity on hole 18, maybe go big and try to get a 2. But Arkansas State's not going to let their foot off the gas at this point either.
Yeah, you can see right there, Arkansas State's definitely not letting the foot off the gas. Jared just absolutely parks this island hole. Charlie, I was going to say this might be a chance for Ole Miss to make up some ground if Arkansas State can miraculously go out of bounds twice, but that's obviously not happening. So now Parker Sowers needs to answer right here and get a good shot for Ole Miss.
Yeah, his forehand really lines up well. For this hole, a lot of the locals and a lot of the players who've never seen this hole take that same line, throw something overstable out to the left and hope it hooks back. For me, I'm throwing a putter on this hole, and I'm just throwing it high and letting the glide take it to the basket. That was a great shot by, who's that, Brewster, sorry. There's a lot of Parkers on this card.
Again.
So that was a great answer. He's right there within tap-in range. So you have 2 twos for these teams, and they'll be moving on to hole 17.
Yeah, and in case you didn't catch our Part 1 coverage, we've got 4 Parkers on the card. We've got 3 Parkers from Ole Miss. They might as well be called the Ole Miss Parkers. And then you can see Parker Sitton, the captain of Arkansas State, tapping that one in. So we're through 16 holes, and it's still going to be Arkansas State holding pace with a 2-stroke lead, and it's on to hole 17, a 325-foot downhill shot. And Charlie, this is one where you just kind of want to get it out there, throw a nice hyzer and get it in towards the basket. And you can see that Parker just turned his over a bit too much, and it caught up in those trees there.
Yeah, and I believe actually that 345 number you just said is for the short position on this hole, and the teams are both playing the long position, which I think is closer to 420 or 425. And, as a right-hand, backhand player, your instinct is to throw it as hard as you can with an overstable disc and hope it comes back to the basket. But if you want to get close, you have to throw it actually a much lower line, a more penetrating one that maybe skips or cuts up a little bit shorter than you think it would.
Yeah, and that was a really good shot there from BL. Maybe one of the best ones we've seen from the day. That's definitely going to get an Ole Miss an outside look. And Cole Neal puts them pretty close too. So this would be a big putt here for Ole Miss. And Parker Brewster
just sails that one left. Didn't quite get the turnover he needed. I think he just recently switched putters to, I think that's some sort of Castoplast putter, and he just didn't get the turnover he needed, and it'll be up to Sowers to put this one in.
When that looked just like a slip of the hand from Sowers off the tree there, and Ole Miss is not going to pick one up here, and Arkansas State has a chance to.
Ooh, good putt from Jared.
Yeah, and like I was saying, they have a chance to add to their lead, and Jared just absolutely nails that putt, and that's going to be at least a 3-stroke lead for Arkansas State. With
Baker.
BL missing that one, and
that's gotta be embarrassing.
This is critical here. If Cole Neal can't convert here,
this is all about his preparation. Let's see if he takes his time. He didn't.
My goodness.
No!
And that's
2 strokes on 17.
And that's a terrible swing there for Ole Miss. Down by 4 in doubles play. That's going to be hard to make up, Charlie.
Yeah, and if this was a regular SCDG match and we're only playing 18 holes, that would be the absolute death for Ole Miss. But we've got a little bit more golf to play after this. We've got 10 holes left. And if Ole Miss is going to win after that 2-stroke swing, they're going to need to probably get a 2 on 18, which is almost impossible. I've never heard of it being done. Baker, have you ever heard of anybody getting a 2 on 18?
I think I've heard rumors of a nice roller and a throw-in getting a 2 on 18, but as far as I know, it's an old folk tale.
Actually, I take that back. I have heard of it too. Danny Lindahl and his partner at the Jomez Challenge that was held out here a couple of months ago threw in for 2 after a great tee shot from Danny, but it was a blind 300-foot forehand, and I'm not sure if they'll be able to pull that off. That's a 1 in a million shot.
Yeah, and if you're watching this video and wondering, why don't they just take the cut across route? Well, that's because there's a Mando on that big tree that you see in the right corner of your screen. So you cannot go straight across. You have to go around the tree, and it looks like Sowers may have cut it off a bit too early and may not have a look to get around the Mando.
Right. So the play on this hole is to throw it as pretty much as dead straight as possible and as far as possible. You really need to get all of 430 feet around this corner in order to have an easy look at your 3 here. This hole is listed as a par 3, but for I'd say 95% of players it plays as a par 4, and I've certainly taken worse scores than that playing in singles matches. But if Ole Miss can't get up and down right here and knock in a 3, it may spell the end of them if they lose another stroke right here to Arkansas State.
Absolutely, and you see a nice forehand shot here by Cole Neal trying to get it close, and he'll give them about a 40-foot look, which will be nice. Charlie, is that do they have both baskets in the ground here for this hole?
They do. They have the short and the long end, so it was a bit confusing, but we played the long on every single hole here today in doubles.
And Parker Sitton just puts his forehand in the ground, and it's going to be up to Jonathan Underwood, who throws
a thumber
overhand shot, and both of them hit the tree, so a chance here for Ole Miss to make up some ground, but you've got the long-range putters for Arkansas State, and Dawson Burge can surely knock this one home, and
woo! Ooh, just over the top. This is one of those situations that Arkansas State's probably pretty happy with. They're up by 4 strokes. They can both run this one and guaranteed to make the comebacker. So these are both fun runs for them, and they know they have some cushion. Maybe if they were a little bit closer, they'd lay one up from that distance. But with both Jared and Parker, both with Jared being as long range of a putter as he is, there's no problem with both of them running him.
And Sowers gives that one a run. but just misses low and to the left. And so it's going to be up to Parker Brewster here if Ole Miss can pick up a critical stroke with just 9 holes remaining after this hole.
This is a big putt for Ole Miss.
And Brewster just misses off Am's side, and Ole Miss is going to be unable to pick up a stroke, and that's going to leave them down by 4 with 9 holes to play. It's going to be a tough job if they're going to come back from the number 3 team in the country down 4 with just 9.
Yeah, Arkansas State's sitting pretty happy right now. You know, Baker, I mean, you've played doubles. We played doubles together in SCDGA, and this happens, especially against competitive teams like Arkansas State, who aren't going to make that many mistakes. And to win, you're not going to be able to rely on them messing up, and you're going to have to make all the birdies you possibly can. So there may be a bit of a crisis of confidence for Ole Miss right now. Hopefully they can get that going they can end that with a big shot on 1. At this point, I'd be telling them that we need to be getting eagles and aces instead of pars and birdies to have a chance at this title.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're back to hole 1 here, 498 feet. Something that Ole Miss can kind of have solace in is the fact that no matter what, they've got a bid to nationals here. Arkansas State already has a bid from their performance at the NCDGC last year, so the conference's bid will go to Ole Miss here, but there's still plenty of bragging rights and a nice trophy on the line. So
everybody wants to win this conference for it being the only conference in the United States presently with the current format. This is a bigger deal than just any random qualifier that schools may play. All these teams have played 7 matches over the course of almost 2 months, and they've been readying themselves for this tournament that was a 2-day ordeal and a lot of fun for everybody. So there's still a lot on the line.
Yeah,
we'll see if Cole Neal can make an adjustment and maybe get him a look at 2 here. In the first round, he smashed it and put it almost in the creek, which is about 60 feet away with a bit of an uphill putt, and he just turned that one over a bit early. You can tell he was trying to throw that one low enough to maybe get some extra forward penetration, but they'll both be looking at a 3 on this hole if Sowers can put this one under the basket, and Jonathan's getting cozy over there in the background.
Yeah, absolutely. 4-stroke lead, he can relax there a little bit, and he seems to be enjoying his time out here in the nice Russellville weather. One thing I think you said, Charlie, that's really important here is that this is the culmination of a long season. Like you said, this is not like a normal qualifier. These guys go through a grind of a normal regular season and then have to play in this big 2-day tournament. So it's something that they've worked hard all season to try to accomplish with each of the 7 teams in the conference wanting to win this championship. And we have the 2 best teams right here battling it out for the 2nd year in a row.
Right. And these 2 teams both qualified for a bye round out of the first round of this tournament and went straight to semifinals. But if a team had made it to finals from the first round, they would have played a grand total of 6 rounds of disc golf in 2 days in order to do it. So it's definitely a long weekend out here, but we were lucky enough to get some great weather, and it was a lot of fun to see everybody come out.
Yeah, absolutely. And Cole Neal just knocks that one home. If Ole Miss has any chance, they had to make that putt, and Cole's the guy to do it. He seems like a really solid player from Ole Miss and kind of really the backbone of their school. And like you said, Charlie, earlier, he's just a freshman, so they still have a lot of good years left with Cole.
Yeah, I heard the word dynasty being thrown around a little bit at the players' party the night before. This is Cole's entrance onto the Ole Miss disc golf program has been a big confidence booster for them this year after they lost Alan Logan, who was their ace in the hole last year, and they'll be looking to follow him into hopefully a couple more victories throughout the next few years.
Yeah, and you can see how they would have a shot at it for the years to come. Arkansas State, on the other hand, has a lot of seniors. You just saw one of them. Jared Ashburner absolutely parked this hole. Jonathan Underwood's another older guy, so this might be their one last shot at a title for a good couple years. You expect them to reload with a lot of good players, but if they win a title, a national championship, this might be their best year to do it.
Yeah, this is their golden chance for the next, at least until they can get the next generation of Underwoods in there. So yeah, we're back to hole 2. This is probably the easiest hole these guys will play today. Maybe hole 5 will be in the competition for that. But the play for right-hand, backhand players to throw something overstable and wide and high and just let it fade back towards the basket. A lot of players will try to throw one that's too flat, and they'll end up skipping down towards that ditch, which is actually a lot deeper than it looks on camera and makes for a difficult putt. Brewster parked this hole in round 1, and he's done almost the exact same thing the second time playing this hole. So it'll be another pair of deuces on this short par 3, and that's not what Ole Miss needs, but A-State, like we said earlier, isn't letting their foot off the gas, and they know if they keep playing the way they have been this weekend, there's going to be no worry about getting their second straight SCDGA title.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it's interesting that the same guys who win at these holes the first time around are doing it again and the way that it fell. So you're going to see these guys try to make adjustments from their shots on the previous front 9, and last time Parker's disc faded out a little bit too much on this hole, so you can see he tries to make the correction there. You know, if you're going to miss, you might as well make the correction, and he's going to be out in the open. So old Arkansas State's going to have an up and down, and Jonathan turned his over last time, so let's see if he can make the correction.
Yeah, threw his a little bit higher, and it looks like it has enough height on it to maybe get back. I'm not sure exactly. Wow, that was a big shot from Jonathan. That went pretty far. It just didn't quite have enough air underneath it to get its way back to the basket. Here's Parker Beal. Parker, as he's well known for on the Ole Miss team, throws almost exclusively Feldberg bosses. It seems that's his favorite driver, his go-to driver, and he just left that one a little bit low into the hill. That's the right line, but in order to throw a hyzer flip, you need to go a little bit farther left and flip it up over the hill instead of into the side of it.
Yeah, we're going to see Cole Neal's shot here, and he gets a good rip on that one and gets a good amount of turnover, and that's going to skip in towards the basket, and that's going to give Ole Miss a pretty good look to at least maybe pick up a stroke.
Yeah, this would be a great hole for them to pick up a stroke on. We picked up a stroke against SAU. Hendrix College did on this hole in the second time around during our match for third place. Ooh, Jonathan almost took it away from him. Great line.
Yeah, and
Jared.
That's 2 times in a row on this hole where Jared's had good runs, and last time Dawson hit off the rim, so let's see if he can put this one in and put the pressure right back on Ole Miss.
That's tracking.
Oh, barely. And okay, here we go. Parker Sowers with a chance to get the birdie for Ole Miss, and he gets it. That's going to put him within 3, Charlie. Maybe it's not over quite yet.
Yeah, that's what they needed to do, and they needed to do it right then. You know, we got a couple holes after this, and they've got a significant amount of room to make up on a team as deep as Arkansas State. But if they were going to do it, that's how they're going to start. And this next hole is an opportunity too. Hole 4 is, like we said if you didn't catch the first part of our footage, go back and watch that, and you can see them make corrections off of those initial lines. Basically, what you're going to want to do is throw something a little bit more understable than you think you need to off to the right, and hope it skips up that hill. I've never seen anyone go deep on this hole just due to the incline, but it can definitely be reached. But you're probably going to be left with a putt no matter what.
Yeah. Sowers crushes that thing, just kind of off in the wrong direction, but they're going to have a nice flat look at it. They're going to kind of be pin high. We're just going to give them a chance to run it. And Jared here, last time he just threw his shot into the ground low, makes a little bit of a correction here, and they're going to have an outside the circle look.
Yeah, no great drives on this hole quite yet. I think Dawson's probably throwing his trespass. See if he can stand up on it a little bit more. That's looking real nice. It's a little bit low, maybe. Yeah, that's probably 40 to 50. Maybe not quite that. Probably closer to 35. That was a good shot by Dawson. Well, they might be able to knock that one in.
Yeah, and that's also going to let them... they almost went out of bounds on their putt last time here, and so maybe that'll let them avoid having to putt at the out of bounds. As you see, Bial with this half throw, half putt, just go over the basket. And let's see if Cole Neal can put the pressure on.
Oh. Good run from Neal. That's more of the stroke we're used to seeing from him. That one was still not quite at where I've seen it with him playing, but That was a good. Oh no.
Parker Sitton, the team captain for Arkansas State, nails the putt. He also might have just put the nail in the coffin, Charlie. That's going to be a 4-stroke lead for Arkansas State. And that's what you expect your captain to do, make the big putts when it matters. And adding insult to injury, Brewer
okay.
hits
Now
it off the
you gotta
band.
really calm down and take your time on this. We've missed these before. Me and my partner Nate McKenna missed an easy one like this playing against Arkansas State out at Burns Red. This is for honor right here. There we go. Good 10-footer.
Yeah, and Ole Miss, they're still going to want to perform well. Even if they can't make the comeback, they want to show to themselves that they can compete with the best teams in the country. And Arkansas State truly is one of those. So if they can hang around with them, that's going to be a big confidence boost going into nationals. You see Parker Sitton going with the hyzer here. He goes with the wide route, and he's going to put Arkansas State within the circle. They're going to have another birdie look. It seems like Arkansas State's really finding their stride right now, Charlie.
Yeah, I mean, 4 strokes with just a couple holes left. We're about to go back across the road and start on 14 again, or 15, sorry, I believe, and then just play out the rest of this round. And Arkansas State is pretty well confident, I think, at this point. They could probably par out and still win this match. So it may be time for them to have some fun, and they're inside the circle with a look at 2, which is all you can ask for.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that it's important to speak to the depth of both of these teams. They've both had guys who have played for their team throughout the year. These are the 4 guys who made it to the conference championship for both of these squads. But these are both deep teams with big rosters to pull from, and there are a lot of guys who contributed to their success this season.
Yeah. We'll see if Parker can knock another one in. Close. His first putt on this hole, the first time they played it, was way low, and he made the correction. He made the correction that time, just not quite high enough, and Brewster knocked it in the first round. Let's see if he can make another putt on hole 5.
And Captain America bangs it home. That's going to be a good putt there for Ole Miss. Definitely not going to lose any ground there, as Jared will look to just tap this one in for Arkansas State and keep pace. Good job by both those teams. That's a hole you expect teams of this caliber to get. And we're starting to see some really high-quality golf here, Charlie. It's been fun to watch.
It has indeed. Arkansas State can put on a show when they have their top 4 here like they do today. And this course is laid out in a way it's all in the open, and it's all in the long positions to really try to get some crazy shots. So we've seen a couple good ones today. Dawson left that one low, and now we're actually switching. So we've gone across the road to hole 15. And the players who played this hole last time will now be putting at this hole. So as opposed to the last couple holes where we've seen people be able to adjust off their lines, this will be new players attacking these shots.
Yeah, and this is going to be interesting because you see Brewster turning his over, and you're going to have Parker Sowers, who's going to be a forehand guy, try to put this one in. But he may not have to do too much work because Brewster put them pretty close. And we'll see the kind of line that Sowers lines up with this forehand. I say there's a forehand on every hole, and Sowers is going to try to prove it here.
He doesn't look too happy with it out of his hand, and looks like he's just caught edge. Didn't quite get enough flair out of this. Baker, if you're looking at this hole with a forehand, what's your line?
Honestly, I'm going to try to do a hyzer flip, a pro discus laser eye, nice straight disc, or Charlie, you know I like to break out the forehand rollers on some crazy holes sometimes. I might try to lay one down. Hey, man, if you're this far behind,
you might as well go for it, right?
Right, and it's the perfect move in doubles play. You know, you saw with Hendricks, me and Nate McKenna in a tournament in Michigan up this summer. He would throw a nice, safe shot, and I'd go with the forehand roller, and it worked out pretty well.
It worked out pretty well. We missed it because we were talking there just a second ago, but I think that was – who was it who almost just threw it in for
That was Parker Sitton, the captain.
That was a great run. Cole should be able to jam this one in.
Oh,
no. Well, you guys probably haven't seen the semifinal round coverage. We should go check it out. When A-State played Hendricks College in the semifinal, there were 2 brutal spit-outs in the first part of that 18-hole matchup, and that's probably almost of equal quality. That was a bit left, but that one probably should have stuck.
Yeah, that's one that Neil would definitely like to have had stuck, to at least give them a prayer going into these last few holes. But as it stands now, it's going to be Arkansas State 12 under, Ole Miss 8 under, onto the island hole, and it's going to be Parker sitting on the box for Arkansas State. He throws a hyzer, and he's looking to track towards the basket. And that's a
little skippy. Nice shot, though.
Yeah, I got a little skippy there, but that's okay. That's going to give them a look. And here you go, Charlie, having a little fun. Underwood throwing his overhand shot. It's going to pan.
Oh, that's a cool-looking shot.
Oh, way past
going
the
a
basket.
Little bit long. He's right on the edge of the circle. They'll have a safe look at 2. Yeah, I mean, there's 3 holes left, including this one, and they're up by 4. So unless there's something drastic that happens, there's literally no chance, unfortunately, for Ole Miss to come back at this point. But like you said earlier, they already have a bid to nationals, and they're looking forward to that in their mind. And this is just for to see the best team in the conference, which is, I think, undoubtedly Arkansas State, take down their second SCDGA title in 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And Arkansas State beat a conference of 5 teams this year. The conference expanded to 7 teams this year. Last year it was 5, and so they've really shown that they can compete with these guys. And Arkansas State truly is the class act of this conference. They're fun to play against and fun to watch.
Yeah, they actually represented the SCDGA at the Dean's Cup this year at USDGC, facing off against Ferris State. They got 3rd place, I believe. Or actually maybe 2nd. I think Ferris beat them in the final round. And that they talking to Jared and to Sitton, who were there, they both said that it was really important for them to get that confidence and be able to play the top school in the nation over the past 2 years and prove that they can hang with them. And they just lost on 17 basically at USDGC, which has happened to plenty of people over the years. But Arkansas State's looking to really show up strong at the Nationals this year, and I think they're going to probably have enough time to get up there early and get a couple of practice rounds in, and we'll be rooting for them.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're also going to be rooting for Ole Miss and SAU, who's also going to be representing the SCDGA at Nationals. So the SCDGA will be well represented as Nationals, as it should be. Some really competitive action here in the conference, and it's really been cool to see how it's changing the landscape of college disc golf, largely due to your work, Charlie, as the commissioner, and really pushing the conference to a new level.
Well, I appreciate that, Baker. And actually, SAU is going to be taking one of the few girls' teams to Nationals this year as well. They'll have a female competitive team. The qualifying doesn't work quite the same way. I think if you can just put together a females team, it's automatically you automatically get a bid to Nationals. But there'll be two SAU teams going this year.
Yeah, and Liberty University, they've been kind of known to dominate that female side, so we'll see if SAU can kind of give them a run for their money. You see Parker Sowers go out of bounds, just turned it over a little bit too much. Trying to do a little bit too much there, but right now these guys are just playing out the round, having some fun, and Cole Neal's going to see if he can give this one an absolute bid.
Oh, good run from Cole. A little bit high, but there's no reason to come up short at this point. We'll see if I'll bet you anything B-All's going to try to throw this one in. He hit off the band during the first part of our coverage on a similar distance from this one.
Yeah, and he gives it a good look, just not enough height. Parker sitting puts way over the basket there, just a little too.
Wow, that drive was close.
Amped up. Yeah, that was a really good drive there by Dawson Burge, and
oh, come on, Jonathan.
They can't convert. Trying to put together a good score here, but that's one they wish they could have. But in the long run, it's not going to hurt them. Just kind of sentimental there if they can try to put together a better score, but. Jared's going to tap in the par here, and we're going to move to the last hole of the 2017 SCDGA season.
Yes, sir. It's been a good season. It's been a long one, and we're looking to expand next year, hopefully to 10 teams. That's the goal. But these guys are gonna end it out for us on the longest hole in Russellville.
Yeah, and Parker would have had a really good shot into the short basket there. And Jonathan Underwood looks like he might be going for the short basket too. Charlie, are they playing the short basket?
Nope, playing the long.
Okay,
again. They both just shanked it. All right, so this I gotta give Ole Miss a bit of a a little bit of credit here for what they're about to do. So Beal throws his boss up there. That's his line. Lands safe. That's a guaranteed 4. So it doesn't matter at this point, but watch this special shot that we're about to see from Neil. That is, I think, the only non-Prodigy disc that I saw him throw all weekend. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but watch this. Boom. Turned over, and it's coming back. It's got enough height on it. There's the Mando tree. And that's probably close to 500, if not over it, in terms of straight up distance. That's an absolute
smash. And Prodigy, if you're watching, this guy throws a lot of Prodigy disc and can absolutely smash. Speaking of guys who can smash, look at Jared's nice little forehand shot here. He's throwing exclusively Discraft.
Yeah, Jared would love to be sponsored by anyone listening to this video who works for Discraft, so plug that. He's the only person in Arkansas I know of who throws exclusively that Discraft brand.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that you can see that college disc golf, you can see some players who are the future of the sport. Some of the top-rated AMs in the country right now are college disc golfers. And
top 3, I believe.
Yeah, we have some great college disc golfers in this conference, too. So you can see Brewster looks like he was giving it a run with that nice little forehand bit there. And
yeah, there's no reason not to try to throw every shot in at this point. So
let's see if Sowers can do the same. Give us a little fireworks here to end off our coverage.
Oh, that's looking good. Just a bit deep. And with those leaves, there's really no telling where exactly it's going to go. That it's actually hard pan underneath those leaves. And before the leaves all fall down, there's a pretty good chance of a skip in, but not with that coverage. And this is going to end it for Arkansas State and Ole Miss. You can see it sitting waving there, and he knows it's over with. And they've wrapped up their second consecutive Southern Collegiate Disc Golf Association championship, and they're the 2-time champions. Ole Miss is the second time in 2 years taking second place, and they'll get a bid to the conference with their second place finish this year and look to represent us well at nationals.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think this is just a time to reflect on a great season for all of the schools in the conference. There were highlights for everyone involved, some great coverage of some college disc golf, and if you haven't been paying attention to college disc golf, now's the time to start because it's really something special.
Yeah, for sure. Baker, thanks for helping me with these videos, man, and I hope you'll join us next year for commentary too.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoyed covering the conference all year for Ultiworld, and you did a great job as commissioner. We want to thank Michael Mayo for putting these videos together, and have a good one.